come. I'd like to speak about something I read this morning. It's about desire and related. Does everybody know what is self-inquiry? Yes. So self-inquiry, which means bringing attention back to the center, to I, from object to subject. So, and desire, what is desire? Is coming from the center, from I, trying to reach out an object. Desire means to try to cancel this separation, the sense of separation. But there is a tendency of fixing on the outer object to kind of possessiveness or stay there, and which make us suffer, because when the object is not responding well to our demand as we expect, then we suffer. So to find out what is the source of the desire, how to get out of that trap, so self-inquiry related to desire, how to manage, because like Buddha said, desire is a source of suffering. But it's maybe not enough to say that. Desire in itself is natural, but it depends what you do with it. But if you do self-inquiry and bring back attention to the center, to I, it also means you bring back attention from where the desire is coming from the source of desire. So instead of always trying to reach out to objects and to cling to them, to attach to them, to stay like surfing on this fire, is like we could say it's like a holy fire, desire. It's like an energy, and it's, if you see it as a longing, so the sense of separation from the I is longing to tending to annihilate this sense of separation, which is the source of suffering, right? So this holy fire of this energy, desire, learning to stay there with it instead of always trying to reach out to outer objects. So it might be helpful to see desire in this other perspective, and when you sit, just staying with it, and so it connects to the self-inquiry when we go back to the I, and Haramana says the I will lead you to the self. The appearance I, self-ego, will lead you to the source. This is what he called self-inquiry, right? So, could you follow what I said? Yes?
I have a question. Desire, is it from the zero or from the one? Because if it's like from the one, because it can have
From the one.
a beginning and an ending, a desire, because
She came a few times, so she's used with my language 0 and 1. So I use 0 for the absolute, the Buddha nature, the Tao, the self. 0, what we are, which does not need anything, which is already perfect. That's our nature. So from the 0 came the word, the logos, the one, the light and sound, or the I awareness, you can call it anyhow, the first appearance. But when the first appearance came, the word came with its shadow part, and the shadow part is the sense of separation, the fear of existing. So it did not come alone, this word, this first impulse from the absolute. And we tend to run away from this feeling of being unloved, because we feel separate, so there is a tendency to have this mood of unlove, and we run away from it, and we tend to reach some object to annihilate, whether it is an ice cream or a lady or power or fame or whatever. So whatever we try to reach, we think it will make us happy, and when the object comes, then we feel happy, and we think it's coming from the object, But if you look, you will see that it's coming from the cessation of the desire. When the desire disappears, because you have the ice cream, then your true nature appears, peace. But the mind think it is coming from the object, from an ice cream, a lady, a car, or money, or bank account, whatever. Yes. So anything. So I will speak about a little bit the frame of my way of speaking. Whatever appears in time and space, but time and space is the base of all experience. Time and space. If we question it, we see that tomorrow and there we can never grasp. There, when we arrive there, it becomes here. So it's like a mirage in the desert. You see an oasis, you're thirsty, you approach, then there is no oasis. It's a mirage. There was an appearance, but it's not real. So same for there, for space and time. When you reach tomorrow change in now. You can never be tomorrow. So that seems to exist tomorrow and there. But it's an appearance, it's a mirage. So if you see that all this time and space is itself a mirage, whatever appears in the mirage is a mirage. That's an easy way to see. Whatever has a beginning and an end is an experience, it's an happening in time and space, so it cannot be taken as real. So, what she was speaking, the 0 and 1, the 1 is the first, which then appear in further in the physical plane as a person, so as also the sense of separation. So the 1, as I see it, will always be in the wheel, like an hamster turning around, and the one who pretends that he can be enlightened or awakened it can be real, but real in the dream. So it's not, the self does not need to be awakened. So that's a shortcut, and to cut all danger of any person to say I'm awakened or I'm realized. So this can happen only in the dream, but I prefer to call this a beggar, like Ram Surat Kumar, or the first devil who came out and has to create some other ones to play the game of separation, Romeo and Juliet. So to tend to play, I'm lost, God, please, I want to reunite with you, or a man or a lady, to cut this sense of separation, to being unloved. And so this is the nature of this world, and we cannot avoid it. But what we can do is trying to cancel this sense of annihilation by practicing meditation, self-inquiry, bhakti, anything. But if you do it, you will see maybe that it will not happen for the one. Maybe some state of consciousness, it will look like you attain something, but nothing is stable. That's why also I've seen this with some guru before. Wherever gurus pretend they have reached, they have to keep a face, and then, as Karl Renz say, they have to fuck in the dark. That's why always this thing of power, sex, and money come, because they have to pretend something. So when you have to pretend something, you have to do other things in the dark. But if you don't pretend anything, so you are just a one in the wheel and you don't pretend to be awakened. Maybe there will be some change in the body mind when there is this seeing or this recognition of the zero. When the zero recognizes itself, or the inner ear can hear, I am that, then the zero realizes that it's always been zero, or the self, right? So it's not an happening in time, it's more a recognition, self recognizes itself by itself to itself, as Ramana say, right? So
what is human love then?
Human love, it is this tendency of cancelling
Is
this
desire?
It's a, you can call it a holy longing, because what you are longing for, you're longing for cancelling the sense of separation, longing for unite again, because you feel incomplete, right?
So if I felt complete, I would not want to be in love?
Yes, the zero does not need what you are, does not need.
But
The
because
one
you're
need.
overflowing and you want to share.
Yes, if it's overflowing, then it's it might be different. But if it's human love, it's like wanting to complete yourself. Then it's the one who is the bigger, need to complete itself, right? So, but it's not bad. It's just how the relative world is made. If you see it, but you can see it from yourself, from your zero-ness or whatever. Yes. So as zero, you don't need to mind that the one has this tendency, and maybe his tendency will change by this thing. But to pretend as a one that you can be in unconditional love, that's fake.
Yeah.
Because it will be need a maintenance somewhere in some state, or I amness or I awareness, or any state. If you understand that any state which has a beginning and an end is in time and space. So whatever you achieve is in time and space, right? So what you are is prior to any notion. So it does not need to be attained. You are that now, right? Or not?
Yeah. Why do you laugh?
I don't know. Do I need to know? Yeah. So
the zero is speaking to the zero right now.
at the same time, I would say there are like two layers: one speaking to one, and zero speaking to zero. Self to self, and one to one. So one to one in satsang, I would say it's like an excuse to get attention one to one. But underneath, if the zero, the inner ear is able to hear, you are that already. You don't need to achieve it. Then, where are you? that's what Jesus calls the single eye or the single ear. Those who have a ear to listen, they may hear. It's what Jesus said, right? So for me, it's not the mind, is when the self can hear, you are that, I am that, then it's self-recognition, it's not mental. The mind will come to comment, when this self-recognition is there, the mind will comment. No, you can't be that now, there is so many sadgurus and this, or I need to practice, but it's always postponing in time. Like religion tell you have to be good. If you want to go to heaven, you have to be a good boy, good girl, right? And the society also, you have to achieve, be married and this, and have a good bank account, and then you can die properly. So always postponing. But when the mind is enough fed up, tired of postponing, then the inner ear may listen that you're already that, stay quiet. As that. The one will continue with this eternal quest of trying to cancel his sense of separation. So, but it is sin. So it's a double sword, I would say.
Is your mind generally quiet for the most part, or do you have like a lot of identity thoughts still?
A lot of?
Like identity-based thoughts.
There is some, but not much. I'm not troubled. I feel like, I don't pretend that there is no thought, but I don't mind. It's like more I don't mind the mind. Mm-hmm. For many years I've been trying to struggle, control, and this. I've been meditating a lot, but more like now it's more like I don't mind the mind. Mm-hmm. It's not about controlling the mind.
No, yeah.
So maybe for some time, to be able to have less fog, and one day to be able to hear with the inner ear. But then when you hear, it's like whatever happened after is like adjusting by itself. Because when you at the same time you hear that, then you also see that the I is a phantom, free will is a phantom, space and everything is like a phantom word, a free will, phantom free will is a phantom I is a phantom free world.
So what moves you? Like how do you, when you make decisions, they're not identity based. So you move just,
The person will, in appearance, take decision, but from within it is seen as happening, life living itself. So what moves this
right,
beggar
right.
is life, because I am life. This is the self.
But there's an appearance of a doer even though there's not
Yes, it
actually a
appears.
doer.
I will even say, oh, to a friend, I will say, oh, I have decided to go to Venezuela.
But do you find that those decisions that are made, I've decided to go to Venezuela, are coming from a different place? Like they're not they're based on different different thoughts than say 15 years ago, or like
No, there are. It's a question of ownership. On the surface, it is the same, but this ownership is seen as fake. You know, the main point, I.
right.
So how much
So the
I?
game is still played based on an identity, even though you know that there's no actual doer.
Yeah, it's like when there is a thought coming, even with I. So people say, like I read Papaji say, don't think. But it's not, for me, it's not really accurate. I would say, even if there is a thought to say, I want this or something, do you put your I in that thought with the I? You see, it's like a cloth is passing here, and the thought, and you take it like this, and you say I. But the thought is coming, I want this. Even if there is an I, you might not have put your I inside yet. This is your sense of ownership of the thought, right? So I would say it's more accurate to speak like that. Even I see thought with I, but you don't need to put your I in there. And even if sometimes it happens, it's also part of the shifting from identification to I amness with no I, no sense of I, and to higher awareness also. It's like not minding to be in any state of consciousness. So because people have tried, and even Buddha, you know, people who said I want to realize the self, but it was still here, right? So it did not help. So because the self, the manifestation is constantly, maybe there is some dissolution sometimes, but the self appear as this dream. So only the self can recognize itself, but you cannot stop the dream. And the good reason is it never started. If we could stop it, we would put it in time and we make it real. But we cannot stop it because it never started. It's an appearance of time and space, just an appearance. Is it right?
So do you have no resistance to anything?
Yes. Why not? Yes. No, I
Because some things are very, 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 very difficult and very, very, very uncomfortable, especially if you have some kind of physical disability or something. You know, it's hard to not resist certain things if you're having some kind
So you look, you know, there is two policy, I would say. If you speak to zero and to the one. So the one, you can always do some self-inquiry, mindfulness, observe the resistance, whatever. This is all addressed to the one. But at the same time, the shortcut, the direct path is if the self, the zero, can hear. You're already that. And then you don't move. You don't move from your eternity, right? You are that which never moved, will never move. It's prior to time and space. It's something we cannot describe. But the one, you let the body-mind move. as per its destiny and what life will make it do or not do. So to look for the resistances is also part of the dream. Because the danger of trying to make the sculpture this person or beggar perfect or pure, then it may never end this work. When will you be enough clear or pure to enter the kingdom of God? When? You see, you will have to work for how long? This is a long path. But if you realize that you are already in the kingdom of God, you are that, then it's...
And the kingdom of God can be torture sometimes.
It's part of the appearance. I would say the kingdom of God is as self is prior to the appearance, but it appears as a nightmare and sometimes a sweet dream. But what you are is not in danger.
The movie screen never is impacted by the movie that plays
Yes.
on it. I mean, even if the movie screen understands that it's the movie screen, the movie's still going to play.
Yes, this is what Ramana said. The screen is, there might be fire or killing or whatever. The screen is not affected. So that's why, as self, the absolute dreamer, we can dream the worst and the best, and we like to play that because we know that.
But the screen will be affected if the being dies. If the being dies, then there's no screen. So
No, the screen is the self, it's always there.
if this stuff is not always there, when you don't know that because you're not dead, you've never died.
I'm there, I'm here.
But you've never died. Your physical body's never died. If your physical body dies,
Yeah.
then the screen is gone. Then the perceptive faculty is gone. So you don't know what's.
No, but that what I am
Yeah.
is there now, and it was
But
there
you only
prior.
know that it's there because of the perception.
No, it's not. It's not through the senses.
But how do you know that?
It's what I call the inner ear. It's not through the senses. The five senses, the mind, it's not that. Because the five senses are appearing in the dream of time and space. So that, the self, you cannot perceive through the senses. Through the body mind. It's nothing, cannot be perceived. Right? Only this inner ear, because I don't know what else to say. So this inner ear, it's like this is a self.
But that inner ear is there. How do you know that's not there? Because you're here, you're appearing in human form, and that.
How do you know
form
what?
Well, this human form is appear. Okay, yeah. That this perceptive faculty, this human form, is necessary because it arises simultaneously to the knowing of who you are. And if the knowing of who you are, if the perceptive faculty, the human body falls, then how do you know that the knowing of who you are
Because it's
is gone
another.
as well?
Because it's another realm. It's not, and it's not explainable.
Okay.
It's
okay,
not explainable.
Okay.
Because the mind need explanation, right?
Okay. Yeah.
But the mind, and that's why I told you before the satsang, that I like this notion not only Advaita but of the sacred,
Right.
of that, of the self. Sacred means nothing can touch it, nothing can rape it, nothing can do anything, burn it, kill it. It's so sacred what we are. It's unbelievable, it's mind-blowing. And this is, then you have this sense of bhakti for the self.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more than just Advaita, it's just mind-blowing. So you cannot use the mind, cannot describe it. It's so, what can we say? Nothing. And that's why it's a well-kept secret. What we are is a mystery. You are the mystery that the mind cannot touch. He tried, you see what he did? He tried to grasp it too. But then it would not be safe somehow if the mind could touch it. But then no. This mystery that we are, nothing, the mind, nothing, no words can describe it. Then, what? You see? The mind always tried. And since ever the mind appeared, he tried to describe that. But still we gather to speak about something we cannot speak about. whatever happened to the one? The one may need to do Kriya Yoga or anything. Yes. But the one will never be perfect enough to reach what is already is the self. Right? So that's a game. So they call it. That's why they call it the Lila of God, because is Shiva playing the ignorant. So this forgetfulness of what we are, to being able to play the theater, in the theater of time and space. I'm lost, God, or darling, love me, please, and this, all these stories make the movie real. Like in Ishwapuri told me, told in a talk, he said like this: in US, there is some movie where if there is on the screen some rats, then there is underneath some air pump to blow on the feet. So when you see the rat and they press the pump and you feel the hair and you shout really strong because you feel physically, you know.
Like the simulator.
Yes. So all this multi-dimensional movie is made so well that it seems surreal. It seems surreal, so hard, you know. And even if you ask to scientists, they will tell you there is nothing there. It's empty, only light and sound. But we are stubborn. You know, even if the science, not only spiritual people, but science say it's empty. We could not find matter. Where is matter? We have not yet found it. They could not find it yet. Matter. Where is matter? Only light and sound. You see? So we are living in emptiness, and so we are lying down ourselves, like in the Matrix, and dreaming to have this adventure and feeling suffering, rejoicing, love, this, that. So it's so well made. But for fun, and we forgot we made this. The self is self-enjoyment, just for entertainment. But we do it well because after we play the game, we are so lost and suffering, or all this. So it's perfect movie, and we are not touched by it. So what to do from there?